The Harbaugh Bowl is back. It's been a while since we've had one. The Chargers and Ravens are going to meet this coming week on Monday Night Football. And we're going to preview it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see what we think is going to happen. And it's going to be a very interesting game. I think we all agree on that, right?
Yep.
Now, what we've seen from this Chargers defense is they do not let they let teams get close, and then they just clamp down, right?
Yeah,
get close. You can get close to the end zone, but we're not letting you score, kind of thing.
Yeah, elite bend but not break defense.
Now, the Ravens are coming off obviously a big loss to the Steelers. Chargers having that victory over the Bengals, an important victory for them. So, what do you think is the key in this game? Because obviously it's two brother head coaches against each other. It's a key, basically. Do they prevent Henry? Is that always the key, or do you think it's going to be about Lamar and his performance? Or on the other side? Go on, discuss. Peter,
I think.
Okay. Go.
I was going to say, like, I think the Chargers have learned something important this season, and it's kind of like how to close games out. I think because, like, if you look at before the Harbaugh regime came over, they've been a lot of close games, and they just throw them away towards the end, But I think what they've been able to do this season is they've gained, like, they play 4 quarters now, and they're playing fundamental football. This is only like year 1, and it's only going to continue to build off that. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers pull a sneaky one here, only because the Ravens, we know they're a juggernaut. Like, they're not Detroit kind of juggernaut, but we know that sometimes they can lay an egg, and they can kind of under deliver. Ultimately, you've got to stop the run. If the Chargers are able to do that, then they're in with a very good chance of winning. Like, if you can just contain Lamar, maybe confuse him a little bit with coverages, they might be able to do a few things in this game. But it's going to be close. Both these head coaches know the tendencies of one another. They kind of have an idea of their systems to some degree. So it's going to be it's going to be a tightly fought game. I think on paper, everyone expects the Ravens to win this, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers make it difficult and it's close.
So Ravens are 3-point favorites at the moment, so it's not massively close, but it's 7-4 record against a 7-3 record. Two good teams. If you look at the stats, so Ravens obviously second best rush defense in the league, worst pass defense in the league. And then on the Chargers side, they're kind of like top 12 for both sides of both rush and pass,
which is good.
So, Peter, so we've seen the Chargers try and sling the rock, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, that against Baltimore's generally porous pass defense, do you think it could be a Lad McConkey kind of takeover game with Quentin Johnson as well?
To a certain degree, because the reason why I say that is because as much as the Ravens defense is battling through their issues, especially against the pass, they'll be motivated for this one because it's a Harbaugh Bowl. So I think they might play a little bit differently, especially with they might play a little bit differently in this game. Although, because the Chargers offense is so run orientated, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how much they're willing to let Justin Herbert air it out, because this is a game that will call for it because of the Ravens' pass defense not being as good as it is. So there'll be some opportunities in the passing game. But I think the Chargers can do that with play action and being able to do that. But for the Ravens to win, I think the Ravens might do a little bit more running the football this game. I know Lamar has been fantastic throwing the football this year, But there's a game that
this
can
last
be
game, he is off the back of his worst game, right?
Yeah. But I'm saying this season as a whole, he's shown a lot of improvement as a passer. But he's coming off his worst game, and that's because the Steelers did a great job containing him and everything. But I think for the Chargers to win, they got to contain Lamar first and foremost. And also, there's a little key for the Ravens when they're playing the Chargers is to keep running the football. How my Cardinals was able to beat them 17-15 is because even though the yardage wasn't there, we still kept running the football. So if the Ravens can maintain a pretty good
level of balance effectively that you want them to keep, like between the run and the pass. So if they're keeping the run level high, then the time of possession will be there.
Yeah, exactly. So what I mean is that even though you're not getting a lot of yardage, keep running the football. That would be the key for the Ravens to beat the Chargers. Because the Chargers are very good on defense, both sides, both the pass and the run defense. And take a cue out teams that have been able to beat the Chargers by consistently running the football. Quickly, if I can check when.
So one thing that I think is also going to be really important whilst you check that is the performance of their kicker GOAT, right?
Yes.
So we've seen that. So Justin Tucker's performance pretty much, I would say, cemented their loss last week. And if you look at this, so with the Chargers being a bend not break kind of defense, you're going to have opportunities to kick, and it can't be a situation where Tucker's missing kicks again. Granted, they are in a canopied stadium, not a full dome, but a dome enough. So it's favourable conditions for kicking the ball, but it's his worst season to date. So that's just one thing to put out there, right?
Yep, that's true. So what I meant by it's kind of like when the Cardinals played them, one of the key successes was like it's consistently running the football. So they've got Derrick Henry, Lamar can run it as well. So the Ravens need to lean more run than pass, limit the time of possession, and like you said, field goals. And when you get a touchdown opportunity, you take it because what we see from the Chargers defense is that they're not going to give you a lot of touchdowns in this game. So take your field goals, take your touchdowns, and the Ravens should win. On the Chargers side, is this a game that they're going to let Herbert air it out because of the Baltimore's pass defense? Would they allow him to throw the ball more often than usual? That's something I'm looking forward to seeing.
I'd like to add to that because Lad McConkey is like sneaky. I think this is going to be one of those games. Like he loves games like this. If he can get in like short spaces, whether it's like working intermediate routes, this could be the type of game where he doesn't just stay in the middle of the field, but he might be able to get outside of the seam. And him in space is like electric. It's how it's always been since his days in Georgia. So this could be one of his like marquee games this season to really show what he can do. So I know that receiving core
and
in LA are salivating right now.
And also, it's J.K. Dobbins against his old team.
Revenge game.
Yeah,
it's true. In that, so it's another thing to add to the end. He's already got over 7. Like his yards per attempt is 4.8 this year.
Yep.
So he is running the rock well.
He was always a good back. It was just staying healthy. And it's just one of those things. As soon as he leaves the Ravens, now he's actually staying healthy and he's producing. So this is literally just one of those situations.
So it's something that's got to give. I do think the Ravens probably will win this one, but it's going to be a fun watch, right? I think it's going to be in it. It's not going to be a high-scoring game. It's not going to be. It's going to be more of a tactical battle rather than a kind of a gunslinging battle. But I think the Ravens are going to win. I think. Do you both kind of agree, or do you think there's going to be an upset here?
I'm going to go with the Ravens here. That being said, like I think it's probably going to be a lot closer than a lot of people are saying on the spread. I think it's going to be like a one-score game.
All right.
Yeah,
we have it.
I'm with you as well.
All right. Well, please put your prediction down below. please drop a like, and we'll catch everybody on the next video.